Hey guys, it is P Danny Gaming here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be coding one of the first games to be ever created, Pong. Now I know you're like, man, that's such a basic game, but if you're coding your first game, this is what you want to code for your first game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up our Visual Studio Code, and you can actually use any code editor because we're going to be using HTML, and all code editors use HTML. So you can use brackets, or you can use Notepad++. You can use any of those, but I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code. And then you're going to just want to create a new file. I recommend creating a folder. As you can see, I'm in my coding tutorials. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder, and I'm just going to name it Pong Tutorial. You can name it whatever you want. And then inside of that folder, we're going to create a Pong.html. And once we have that Pong HTML, make sure it's in the folder by opening and unopening the folder, and then click on your Pong HTML. Now, the first thing we're going to do is you're going to want to start off with the doc type and then the HTML. So we're just going to type out this with the doc type HTML. It should look like that. And then right here, we're going to type in our HTML. Inside of our HTML, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our head. Now, inside of our head, we are going to create a title. So there's our title. And then inside of that title, you can name it whatever you're going to want. I'm going to name it Pong version 1.0. So now it is Pong version 1.0. And then under that title, you're going to want to type a meta, and then you're going to go char set, and then you're going to want to go equals UTF-8. Just like that. And then you can go ahead and close that off. Now, under this meta, you're going to go ahead and type style. And then inside of this style, you're going to go HTML, comma, and then you're going to go body. And let's remove that space there. So HTML, and then we're going to go ahead and make sure there is a space there. Didn't mean to remove that. I'm trying to backtrack. But basically just type in HTML, comma, space, body, and then bracket, and then you're going to go height, and then for the height we're going to go 100%, and then we're going to make our margin, and we're going to go margin 0. And then we can close this off. And now we can go ahead and right here, you can go ahead and go body. And inside this body, we're going to go background and then black. And then for our display, we're going to go ahead and use flex, align items, center, and then justify content, center. Now, once we do that, we can go ahead and go after this style, and then I recommend just doing that so that it's all the way down there and it's not in your way. And then we can go ahead and close off our head. So now that we have everything done, and make sure to delete your head from down here. Now that we have that kind of top part done, now we can move on to the next part. So now we're going to type in body. And then inside this body, we can go ahead and make a canvas width, and then equals And then it's going to be 750 for our width. And then our height is going to be 585, I think, is going to be good. And then we'll make an ID of game. So now that we got that ID of game, now we can close off our canvas. And now when we come down here, let's put in a script. So we have a script here, and we're gonna do JavaScript. So we're gonna go const canvas space equals space document dot get element by ID. So this one right here, and then parentheses, and then we'll go game. Now we go const context equals canvas dot get context get content. So get content, but we need it to be a get context. So canvas dot get context. So canvas dot get dot context. So just like that. So it should look like this, and then it's going to be 2D, so we're going to make sure that it is 2D, and then we can close that off. And then I forgot to close this one off, so I'm pretty sure that that should work right now. But on to the next one, we're going to go const grid, and then for our grid equals 15, and then we're going to go const paddle height equals grid star 5, and then we'll close it, and then we'll go // 80. So now that we got that, now we can go const max paddle and then y, because the y-axis is going up and down, and we only want it to go so far so that it doesn't just keep going on for infinity. So we're going to go equals, and then we're going to go canvas dot height so now we got our canvas height dash grid dash paddle height, and then we can close that off. And there's a few more lines of JavaScript that we need. So we need to go to var paddle speed. So we're creating a new attribute. And let me just move all that down there. So we're going to go var paddle speed. Make sure this S is capitalized. And then we're going to go equals. I like my paddle speed set to 6. I don't know about you, but this is going to be this var paddle speed. This is going to be how fast your paddles go up and down. So the paddles will move like this on 6, and then on 8 they'll move a little bit quicker. So I like 6, so we're going to go 6, and then var ball speed equals 5. And then and then we'll go left paddle equals brackets, and then this is gonna be it's gonna start in the middle of our game and shoot left. So it's gonna start right here in the middle, but then it's gonna shoot left either this way, or this way, and randomly shoot left. So to do this, we need to go X, and then we'll go grid star 2, and then we'll go for our Y, canvas dot height. So canvas dot height, and then we'll go slash 2 dash paddle height slash 2, and then we'll go width grid and we need to actually have commas behind these. So width grid and then height paddle height, and then we can place a comma. And now we need to use the paddle velocity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type a slash slash. And these slash slashes you don't have to write down. These are just, I recommend putting them there. And the reason I'm putting them there is because you can go to the GitHub link in the description, and then it will have the code for this. And then you guys can play this. But this is going to be our paddle velocity. And then we're going to go dy 0, and then we can, that's really it. And then you can go ahead and we can now close this off after all of that. So after all of this, we can go ahead and close this off. And this is going to be our left paddle, and we still have to do our right paddle. So we're going to go, and we're going to go ahead, and we're going to bring this up a little bit. And then at the end of this, we can go ahead and just put those. Now, right here, we can go const right paddle equals, and now we're going to go slash slash start in the middle of our game and shoot right. So basically just the opposite. So now we need to go X, and then we got to go canvas dot width, and then we got to do hyphen grid 3. And once we do that, put a comma at the end, and then we'll go Y, and then we'll go canvas dot height, and then we'll go slash 2 dash paddle height slash 2. and then we can put a comma at the end. And now that we have that done, we can go to our width, and our width is going to be our grid. And after that, we can also put a comma, and then our height is going to be paddle height. And then we'll also put a comma at the end of that. Now, / paddle velocity, and then this is going to be our velocity, and then we'll go dy 0. And now, down here where it closes off, we can go ahead and add one of those. And now I'm going to go ahead and save my file. And let's move on to the next step. Okay, so our next step is going to be the ball. So we're going to want to type const and then ball equals, and then we can add our brackets. And then we're going to go / start in the middle of the game, and then we'll go x canvas dot width /2, and then we will go y canvas dot height, and then we'll go /2, and then we'll put a comma at the end. And we also got to make sure that there's a space in between them. Okay, so yours should look like this. And now we're going to go width, and then we're going to go grid, add a comma, and then height. And our height is also going to be grid, and we can put a comma at the end of that. And now we're going to keep track of the ball reset position. So if it doesn't hit our paddle, it resets and goes back to the middle and starts shooting at you. So we're going to go to // and then we're going to go keeps track of ball position. And then we're going to go resetting, and then we're going to go false. So now that we have our resetting as a false, instead of putting this here, we can go ahead and put a resetting false, and then we also need to put a comma at the end instead. So yours should now look like this. And so we're gonna go and then this one we're going to go // and then we're going to go ball velocity, and then we're going to go right here, and then we're going to go dx ball speed, and then dy, and then minus ball sped. And the reason I did ball sped was actually on accident. So we need to change that from ball sped to ball speed. So in our ball, we need to find our ball speed. So we can either go and fix this and search for it, or what we can do is we can copy all of this code. So I'm going to copy all of this code, and then here's where Notepad++ comes in. Because if we copy this, and now that we have this all copied, we can actually open up Notepad++ right here. And now if we paste this code, what we can do is we can click on search, find, and now we can go ball sped, and then we can click on enter. So here it is, var sped. So var ball sped is on line 30, so now we can close this, and then if we go to line 30, here is our victim. So now that we changed that, we change this, and we change that. So now we are all good. So now we can go ahead and bring this back up here, and then we can close that off. Okay, now we can go to the collision slow. We're going to go check for collision between objects. And now we are going to go, and for the code for this one, we're going to go function collides, and then we're going to go obj1 obj2. So now that we got that, now we can put those bracket things here, and then we can go to return obj1 dot x, and then we're going to go like this, and now we're going to go obj2 dot x plus obj2 dot width, and then two and symbols, so and then we'll go obj1 dot x plus obj1 dot width, and then we can close that, and then obj2 dot x and obj1 dot y, and then we'll put that there, obj2 dot y plus obj2 dot height and. The reason I went slow through this part was because this is all really confusing for you guys, and I'm kind of learning this, so I'm really hoping that this works. But now we need to add one more line, so we're going to go obj1 dot y plus obj1 dot height, and then close it, obj2 dot y, and then we can close it like this. So now you should have something that looks a little bit like that. If you don't, then you need to kind of go back and rewatch it, but it should look exactly like mine right here. So make sure to just copy exactly what I have on screen. And then we're gonna go down one more, and then we're gonna go / game loop. And now this is where our game is kind of going to loop the animation to where it like just does the same thing over and over, because that's basically what Pong is. So we're going to go function loop, and then we can just put these at the end, and then brackets, and then we're going to go request animation frame loop, and then we can close that off. Now we can go to context dot clear rect, and then we'll put those there. 0, 0, canvas dot width. So this is our canvas width, and then comma canvas dot height, and then we can add that at the end. And once we have that, we can go ahead and we'll go / move paddles by velocity, and now we can go left paddle dot y plus equals left paddle dot dy, and then we'll close that off, and then we'll go right paddle dot y plus equals right paddle dot dy. So basically right paddle, left paddle, and then we're gonna go down here / and then prevent paddle going through walls. And now for this one, we're gonna go if left paddle dot y, and then we'll go grid. So just like this, and then we can close it off, add one of these there. So now it says if left paddle dot y, and then a grid right here. Let's add a space there so that it doesn't get all confused. And now we're gonna go left paddle dot y equals grid. So that's for our left paddle not leaving the grid. Now we have to do our right. So we're gonna go else if left paddle dot y, and then we'll add our closing max paddle y, and then we'll add these left paddle dot y equals max paddle y, and then we can close that off. And now we basically just repeat those steps for our right paddle. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and we'll just spam enter right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we do the right paddle correctly. So we're going to go if right paddle dot y, and then we will close it, max paddle y, and then like that. Now we'll go right paddle dot y equals max paddle y, and then we can close that. So this is what we're gonna do for our else if. So else if, and then this is what our else if is gonna look like. So it's gonna look like else if right paddle y, closing max paddle y, like this, and then right paddle dot y equals max paddle dot y. So now we need to do the if. So right here, we're gonna do the if part of it. So now we need to, in this if paddle, we need to go if paddle, so if right paddle dot y, open grid, and then we can close this off. Now we do this, right paddle dot y equals grid. So there we go. So that's our if, and then we also have our else. So now we need to have our actual paddles like show up. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it's not really Pong if they don't show up. So we're going to go if, or you know what? We're not going to go if. So what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that the paddles show up. So we're going to go / draw paddles. So this is what's going to make sure our paddles are there. And now we're going to go context dot fill style equals white. Close it. Context dot fill rect left paddle dot x comma left paddle dot y comma left paddle dot width comma and then left paddle dot height, and then we can close this off. Now we can go ahead and go to context dot fill rect, make sure this, and now we're going to go right paddle dot x comma, and then basically just the same thing for all the right paddles. So right paddle dot y comma right paddle dot width comma, and then right paddle dot height, and then we'll close that. Okay, now we're gonna go / and then move ball by its velocity. And now this is going to be kind of the same thing that we did up here, only just for our ball. So we're gonna go ball dot x plus equals ball dot dx, and then we'll go ball dot y plus equals ball dot dy. And once we have that, we're gonna go prevent ball going through walls. So now we're gonna go if ball dot y, close it, grid, and then we'll add this, and then we'll go ball dot y equals grid, and then ball dot dy star equals -1, and then we can close that just like that. But there's more. Now we have to put our else if ball dot y plus grid close canvas dot height and then after our canvas dot height, we're gonna go minus grid, and now we can add our bracket thingies. Now my mouth is hurting from talking for so long, and it's like watering, so I am going to go ahead and go get a drink of water. So I'll be back in like a minute. Okay, so now we need to make sure that we have everything in here. So we're gonna go ball dot y equals canvas dot height, and then we can go minus grid star 2, and then we're gonna go ball dot dy star equals -1. And now we can go ahead and make the last one. So we're gonna go / reset ball if it goes past the paddle. So now we're gonna go if, and then we'll go ball dot x, close it, 0, and then these tall things, you can find them on your keyboard. They're right next to the enter button. You can just find them by clicking shift while you're doing them. And then we can go ball, and then so we're gonna go ball dot x, so ball dot x, and then we'll close it, canvas dot width, and then after this canvas dot width, there's going to be a closing one, so we can skip over here, and then we'll go and oops, wrong one, and ball dot resetting, and then close it, and then we have to put ball dot resetting equals true. And once we have that, now we can go / give some time for player to recover. So this is gonna have a delay. So we're gonna go set timeout and then delete one of those. So now we have 2 startings and 1 ending at the end of it right here. And then once we do that, right after it, we can go equals, and then we can put a closing tag, and then an open bracket into all of our ball dot resetting, and then we'll go equals false, and then we'll go ball dot x equals canvas dot width /2, ball dot y equals canvas dot height, and then we'll go /2, and then we can close that off again. And now we have our closing, but then we can add a comma, 400, and then we'll add our closing one, which links to our very beginning one, and then after that closing one, we can go ahead and put that at the end. So now this links to the very top, this links to this, and then these two link to each other, and then this beginning one should link to here. So if you have what I have written, good job. Now we need to go to // and then we're gonna go check to see if collision with paddle is made. And then we're gonna go if collides ball left paddle, then we're gonna go ball dot dx star equals -1, and then we can close that. And now if we scroll down a little bit, now we have this here, and so we're gonna go / move ball next to paddle or collision repeat, because it has to move the ball next to it. So let's say our paddle is this thing right here. I'll put it on screen. the ball needs to come in and hit the thing, but then once it hits it, it has to teleport to where it's not touching it, so that it's not touching it, because if it touches it, it just stays in the middle as a repeat. So to do this, we're going to go / in next frame ball dot x equals right paddle dot x minus ball dot width. And then we can close that off. And then we have our closing tag right there. Okay, so now we're going to go / draw ball so that we can see our ball. And then we're going to go context dot fill. Whoops, I have cap locks on. Fill rect. And then we're going to go ball dot x ball dot y ball dot width, and then we'll go ball dot height. And then we can also close this off. And now we're going to go / draw walls, and then we're going to go context dot fill style. So fill style equals, and then we're going to go light gray, because that's what we want it to be at the end. So it's going to be light gray. So now we can go ahead and close this off, because I'm pretty sure my spelling is correct. And then we can go context dot fill rect 0, 0, canvas dot width, grid, close it, and then we can close that whole line, and then we'll go context dot fill rect 0, canvas dot height minus grid, canvas dot width, canvas dot height. And then we can go ahead and close this off. Now we're going to go ahead and type // and then draw dotted line down the mid section, and then this dotted line is going to be our net. So we're going to go 4, and then let I equals grid, and then close I, and then do this canvas dot height minus grid, close it, I plus equals grid star 2. And then once we close this off, we can add another bracket, and then we'll go context dot fill rect canvas dot width /2 minus grid /2, and then gotta go comma. So I actually think I might have messed this up. Let me rack my brain for a minute and look up what to do with the canvas width, because there's like, this is regular code, so I'm just gonna try to troubleshoot this because I don't know how I type it out. Okay, so I figured out what I did wrong. I just needed to duplicate it, and then I needed to add the commas at the end. So sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna cut that out. But now we need to make sure that, because nothing can move right now, so nothing can actually like happen. It's just all there. So we need to make sure that we can move it, and we're gonna try to make this kind of like a 2-player one that you can play with one keyboard. So we're gonna go / listen to keyboard events to move paddle. And now we're gonna go document, and then .add event listener key down key down, and then actually need to add these here so that it's orange, comma, and then function E. And now we do that, and now we're gonna go / up arrow key, and then we're gonna go if E dot which and then equals 38, and then we're gonna go right paddle dot dy equals minus paddle speed. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure to save it. And now we can go and do our down arrow key. So this is gonna make us move down. So we're gonna go / down arrow key, and then we're gonna go else if E dot which equals, and then we'll go 40, and then the numbers right here, the 40 and the 38, is the number on your keyboard. So that's the number of your keyboard, because if you count them, that will be the 41st key, the 40th key, depending on which way you count it. But the way they're counting it, it's 40, and that's how code does. So we're gonna go right paddle dot dy equals paddle speed, and then we can close that with brackets. So now we are going to use our W and S key for the left player or the second player. So we're going to go / W key. And then we are going to go if E dot which equals 87 left paddle dot dy equals minus paddle speed. Close it. And now that we have that closed, you can go ahead and also close that. So now on to the S key. I mean, not the S key, the A key. So it's going to be W and A, because W and A I think makes more sense than W and S. Because if someone's on the left side, you want it to be going down. Because if you think at it, they're like at an horizontal. So this is going to be our A key. So A key. And then we're going to go else if. So, whoopsie daisies. Else if. And then we'll go E dot which. And then we'll go equals 83. And then we can go ahead, close this, left paddle dot dy equals paddle speed. And then we'll do this. And then once they close it, now we can bring in these to the end with all of our beautiful stuff, and then we can make a closing bracket. Okay, now we're gonna go / listen to keyboard events for when key is released. So when the key comes up, it stops. So if I hold L, it's going to keep going until I lift up, and then it will stop. So that's what we're going to be doing right here, so that it doesn't just automatically go all the time. So we're going to document dot add event listener, and then we'll go key up, comma, function E, and then go ahead and do that. Now we'll go if E dot which equals 38. These things again, E dot which equals 40. And now another one, and we'll go right paddle dot dy equals 0, and then we can close that. And then right here, so that's what we did. That's the right paddle for letting go, and then now we need to do the left paddle for letting go. So we're gonna go if E dot which and then equals 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 83 this e dot which, and then after our e dot which, and then we can go equals 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 87, close it, open one, left paddle dot dy equals 0. Now once we do that, we need to make sure to have a space right here because we have 2 errors. So now that we have that done, we can close this, and then we'll have this. And now we're just going to do the start game. So we are almost done. So we can go ahead and bring all of this up. So now we have all that up. Now at the end, we're going to go right here, and then we're going to go // start game, request animation frame, loop. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring this up. And you are done. If you guys made it this far into the video, congratulations. It has been over an hour of us typing this. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to see where these problems are. So as you can see, there's a problem here. So it says that this is expected for a closing. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we're going to look at our others, and they all have closings. So this actually caught an error. So when we add in closing, it goes away. So it actually did catch an error, but we still have one more, which is way up here, which is right here, which is dy. Now it's going to say this is expected for the JavaScript. So we're going to see if that actually is true, because if we look at our dx is fine. So I don't know why it's asking us to put that there. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to open up my coding tutorials. So now that we have this here, so now we have our file explorer, and then if we click on Pong tutorial and then we click on Pong, it should open up a Google Chrome, and it should have Pong here, but it does not. So we need to go back into Visual Studio and we need to fix this. So I don't know why it's asking me for this, and if I delete this, nothing happens because we're supposed to have one of those right here. But I don't know why it's saying that this is expected and why we need one of those. So I will see you guys once I get back. Okay, so I figured out what the problem was. There was one tiny little mistake in my coding, and I didn't have a space here. So, you can go ahead, and what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and save. And now, when we boot it up, we should have Pong. So we're going to go ahead, start it up. And as you guys can see, I'm using my arrows key on my right and left to move this paddle up and down. And I'm using my W and my S key to move it like this. So yeah, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to slap that like and that subscribe button, because this is honestly one of my favorite games that I've coded so far, because it is honestly one of the hardest, and it's actually pretty fun, and you can play these without Wi-Fi. So if you actually save this to your computer and you go on a road trip, you could stick it in the middle of your car, and then you and your little sister or you and your brother could play together. But as you can see, I am controlling it. I can go up with my right, down with my right, up with my left, down with my right, and everything. So it's really, really cool. As you can see, I suck. If you have a second player playing, then it's super easy. And as you can see, we have our dotted line back here. And then if you want, you can actually change the background color by, if we go into our code, as you can see, there's this background. And then we can actually change this to tan. And then if we save this, we can go back into our Google Chrome and reload it. And now, as you can see, it has a sand background. So you can change this however you want. You can make it pink if you want. You can make it red. So you can change this code around. But if you want to change your background color, make sure to only change the body tag with what you want. But honestly, I kind of like black because that is the correct one. Or what we can do is we can use a dark blue, because honestly, I think dark blue is like the bomb. And this isn't really dark blue, so we can go to like a color hashtag picker, and then it will tell us the color, and then you can actually use the like hashtag FFF, which is white. But we can do the color, the HTML color. So if we want to get this like extremely dark blue, we can get this by just going to HTML color codes, and you can look that up on HTML color codes, and then go right here, and then we want an extremely dark blue, so right here, and then this is going to be our color code, so we can copy this. As you can see, it's a very dark blue right now. But now we're going to make it kind of more of a super dark navy blue. And now when we reload it, it's like a super dark reddish blue. So it looks honestly really cool. But just to stick with the classic theme, we're going to go with black. But if you guys did enjoy, it has been an hour and 10 minutes since we have started recording. So this actually takes a super long time to make. So please give me some support. I love helping you guys out. If you need any questions and this isn't working, you can comment down below. And then there's also going to be a GitHub link where you can download this yourselves. And there also is going to be a paste bin where you can just paste it into the you can just paste it into your code editor and then save it to your computer. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna take a break. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.